Hi guys, I'm going to talk about a few reads today, a little sand art as well as oracle cards. So we'll get right to it. Today is November 5th, 2018. It's kind of rainy morning here, but the energy's good, and so I want to get into it. I have a Divine Feminine read from yesterday, a Divine Masculine read from yesterday, and then again the Divine Feminine read from this morning. I'm going to show you the reads before I forget to show them to you. This is the So this was yesterday, the Divine Feminine. Okay. This is yesterday, the Divine Masculine. And then this is this morning for the Divine Feminine. So I'm gonna get I'm sorry about that. I'll get the bottom in for you. Hopefully you can see everything. The lighting is a little bit tough to see. Okay. I keep writing the wrong dates. I was writing today the 4th, and yesterday I was writing the 3rd. Today is the 5th, right? Today is, let's see. So the 5 is all, yesterday is the 4 would be the Emperor, and today is the Hierophant, the 5. So the yesterday added up to the 26, which was the Page of Wands, which is still coming up today. And then today is the 27, which is the Ace of Wands. So very physical, passionate energy going on. So I'm going to tell you the sand art first, and then we'll get into the reads, since we have 3 of them to get through. The sand art, there was an offering. I was also getting handouts, and someone giving someone else the finger. And multiple arms. I saw split pods, so again that edamame or just pea pods open with seeds germinating came up, and also nests with eggs. Someone baking. Also those push button portable lights, you know, the ones you can just stick up under your counters and stuff like that. But those portable lights were coming up, so maybe some of you need some of those lights. Also I was seeing a liver in someone's hand. It was saying that this person has control over whether they kill their liver or not. So obviously it's an alcoholic or someone who's affecting their liver, that it's their choice. Also worms were coming up, as well as caterpillars under rocks. A Batman villain, as well as working out the upper body for the masculine. I was seeing black seeds and black orbs, and I was getting just randomly that 1 of 2 are alive. And it was funny because after I read that, I realized that one of my 2 plants that I've had up front for a while, that only one's alive out of the 2. Which is funny because things like that have been coming up so quickly. Like I told you, let me finish this and then I'll tell you that. So I saw angels hovering. I saw little souls waiting to jump in. So this germinating has to do with human souls wanting to come in for pregnancies. Someone laying down and reaching over the edge of the bed to pull up a child. So it doesn't have to be a bed, but I was seeing someone laying over an edge, pulling up a child. But it could definitely just be a bed. Also, I was seeing a sleepover party. I saw gangrene for someone. I don't know if someone is diabetic, but also laundry chutes, as well as other kinds of chutes, you know, like hospital chutes where you send the containers through the portals to get to other departments, something like that. So it's significant for someone. I was also getting stinky feet and a bat protecting children, which also could be referencing Batman or the Divine Masculine protecting his children. Also, some of the children may be scared after Halloween, you know, nightmares and stuff. I was seeing an owl, as well as pet paws and their pads on the bottom of their feet. So I don't know if a pet has some issue, and it might have to do with their pad on their paw. But also there may be stinkiness that has to do with a pet's paw. Okay. Also was getting Christmas and snow scenes now being put out, and also Tahoe, caves possibly at Tahoe, and pyramids with erosion as well. But that was coming up about Tahoe. Okay. So it is telling you, and I want to show you that. You know, the other day when I was, it's 11:44, when I did the video the other day, I told you about a jet stream on my ceiling. And driving home from my mother's yesterday, what do you think was in the sky? Like this huge jet stream. Check it out. I don't know if you can see it. Look at that jet stream. It was like all the way down the street that I was driving down. Like almost like touching the sun. But it was just like this jet stream that went across my ceiling yesterday. It's like manifesting right away. There was something else that happened, not yesterday, but the night before that, when my daughter's friend was over and we were doing cards, and we were just talking about my daughter and how she always used to get kicked in the eye all the time. And then we were doing her cards, and that picture where the guy got kicked in his eye came up. So these things are manifesting very quickly. Alright, so we're going to start from yesterday with the Divine Feminine. There's a lot of information coming up about parents and families and siblings and children, so all the different parts of the family, as well as the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine things. So, but a lot of the issues from family is coming up. So, you know, yesterday was daylight savings, falling back. So maybe some things you need to revisit. And it was the Page of Wands, which is all about being inspired. It's young inspiration, but don't forget it's immature. It needs to develop. And the Emperor, so being in control of your inspiration. Or maybe a father in control of a son yesterday, and that was coming up again today. There's definitely father-son, mother-daughter issues coming up. I was visiting my mother, so yes, and she was very cranky yesterday, so definitely some of that stuff coming up. Oh, and yesterday morning when I looked out the window, I saw a squirrel and walking across a wire, and I was getting someone walking across the tightrope to the other side, but successfully. Okay, and for me, it was coming in as the masculine. Okay, so for the Divine Feminine yesterday, the major arcana were Luna, Lovers, Chariot, and Tower. So Luna is the moon, Lovers, Chariot, and the Tower. There was 2 cups, 3 pentacles, 2 wands, and no swords yesterday for the Divine Feminine. The Page of Pentacles came up as the court cards, Page of Pentacles, King of Wands, and Page of Wands. So 2 kids and a King of Wands. The numbers that came up for the Divine Feminine yesterday, not a lot, just number 10 actually, and 232. It was all about physical activity and music, using these things to help you transmute the energies. Stuff about family legacy coming up in the codes for the Divine Feminine, and being sweet. Being sweet to some of your relatives may be like negative spirit energy of transmutation. Like it's not helping to be sweet to your abuser, basically, that kind of thing. So, and it's all in reference to physical activity and music, which was interesting, because actually I was going to play a few songs for my mom yesterday when I went up, and I ended up not. So just take it as it's coming to you. I was also getting Stinker of Flames in the read yesterday, and my mom was definitely being a stinker then afterwards when I went up. So yeah, so just being sweet, and being a saint with people who are like stalling and crying, well, crying just to get attention, that kind of thing. So that could be with kids as well. Just being eeking, like, ee, ooh, like, being silly about things, but negative reactions to things. But using physical activity and music to transmute energies yesterday. And then just one code. Healing stones and stuff like that was coming up. I'm not going to go through that because I have 3 reads and nothing I feel was, really standing out. But it was funny because my boss's initials came up as the first heading, and it it came up as the seat of torment, which is funny because my old boss has the same birthday as my twin. And then Armageddon came up. But it was talking about crystals also under this. Also that you cannot use crystals when you're doing continuous channeling skill. It said clerics, regeneration aura, seekers, Gatakon, Vorax, obviously it was a game or something, wizards, dragon, breath, archers, barrage of arrows, and blade masters, blade tornado. But anyway, so this was coming up for a reason, that you cannot use crystals when you're doing continuous channeling skill. So that was interesting. And the seat of torment. For the Divine Feminine yesterday, the underlying energy starts out with the Ten of Cups, but it's the King of Wands reversed, and the Hierophant on the Ten of Cups. That the King of Wands is tired or angry and with their marriage and or family, as the Emperor hides behind the sham fam, or the illusion of the perfect family, also hiding behind establishment or traditions. Out in the cold, the Divine Feminine travels toward the sun to get warm, to the central sun, to feel included again, with intuition, her higher self, making her way through the weeds and high grass, the dunes, to speak her truth with family, or possibly do some healing with family, or on her own. The Empress reversed is lacking faith. I was getting washing windows, setting tables, patching ceilings, putting out a little money, and energy is unsatisfying as the Queen of Swords drops her facade, breaks family patterns, and stops trying so hard to please others. Okay? So a daughter may be helping her mother break family patterns of juggling, of stress, that you must be busy to be worthy of love, that if you are not stressed, you are not serving as much as everyone else. Okay, and also underlying energy was coming up with soulmate, but right under it was also release your ex. So it could have to do with releasing a soulmate ex, but also could have to do with other soulmates, just in the present, but that you've already released your ex, so that's good. Reunion on the table. For a new life, the stage is set for the High Priestess with keys to win first prize this time, a new love, the cherry on top. Underlying energy was healing for the Divine Feminine. The Queen of Wands was coming up as overworking or can't focus due to cobwebs in her mind. So weeds, crabgrass, sand dunes, all that stuff kept coming up. I kept seeing like the grass on the sand dunes at the beach. Dormant grass, stuck in a sand trap, not knowing how to get out, jealous or insincere, or just not loving to anyone was a bad decision on their part. So this is talking about the Queen of Wands energy. Now seeing family from the other side of her situation as a fallen angel. That families can be happy when you keep it simple and just love each other. So this is the energy coming up for the Queen of Wands. And actually my mother is Queen of Wands energy for sure. So, but it was coming up upright. But having issues. So parents are coming up here for sure in this read yesterday. That a mother who lacked faith and a father who maintained their good status due to the support of their family. Possibly antisocial in actuality, or shy. So one of the fathers may have been this way. Both the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands may have hid behind a facade where the Queen of Wands gets her way. In order getting her way made the King of Wands drained and angry. She played the traditional housewife, expecting him to provide, only she didn't want to be stuck home with the kids cleaning the house. So she rebelled by throwing temper tantrums or emotional manipulations and crying to get her way, supported by the feminist movement. So this is the theme of a lot of our parents growing up. She may have been pleased with herself, finally getting her way, but was she really happy, still in that template of emotional and physical abuse of the King of Wands, who now works all the time so he doesn't have to deal with her, keeping in his anger and exhaustion, even in retirement, where they continued to push each other's buttons, out of habit, learning from their children, but unable to break all their old patterns, okay? So recently, so again, this is a big focus on the family dynamic and what, as a generation, our parents went through, because it was all about the mother raising the children. For us, in my generation, we grew up, everyone was still home with all the children. It wasn't until, the 60s and 70s where things really started to change as far as that. But we went through that experience. Recently, with fighting or just conflict over and done, the Queen of Wands is tired and angry, loving herself, drained of all life force and power on her own, trying to balance between happy families. And there may be multiple families having to do with this Queen of Wands. She's angry at herself for equating love with money, as if money can replace affection and time together sharing. Expressions of love must be balanced and shared. Today is all about breaking family patterns of equitable distribution. If each can find happiness and satisfaction alone, then they can appreciate time together, with their perfect match in frequency and vibration. So this is the whole purpose of the awakening and learning to stand on your own. The foundation for the Divine Feminine yesterday was the moon and the lunar cycles of emotion, and as waves are replaced by messages of truth from daughter to mother, as the Queen of Pentacles and children become grounded and balanced soulmates, as their grandparents' truth comes to light, and how fortunate we are to live now and not then. Also, sisters and siblings may be bonding more, as siblings of the twin migrate toward them for light. Centrally is the Page of Pentacles, or Seeker of Crystals. The masculine twin and his children are bonding over intuition and psychic abilities, and possibly scientific experiments and/or number games, and discovering their magical abilities. The King of Pentacles' abilities, or secret, talked about a little bit. So maybe the Divine Masculine is starting to actually talk about things that they may not have felt were appropriate to talk about with their children before, but now coming out and allowing themselves to do this. Sometimes expressing as stress or crying. So he might be actually explaining this to his children, that sometimes he needs to cry too. All right, but this stress and crying may drain their energy too. Maybe explaining them that crying all the time, that negative viewpoint, especially if it's just whining, crying, and not releasing, that can drain their energy and make you sick. I also see him teaching a Page of Swords and a Page of Pentacles, so an air sign child or a earth sign child, or both, about energy and their intuitive abilities. The topic of twins may also come up as well for both, and that at the new and full moons are increased illumination portals. The Divine Masculine may have taken kids on a surprise trip or a drive while holding their passions back, or just conking out from exhaustion despite their good intentions. The challenge is injustice in keeping the Divine Feminine in limbo, of being still and wise to see new perspectives and choose a path, or just to travel and see the world. The Divine Masculine is also at this juncture, as they are now faced toward each other, one raising children and the driving force, and the other bleeding out from passion and transmuting all the pain. As only the King of Cups, unconditional love, now stands between them as they choose their paths from two different timelines that they are about to merge. Some may have a little isolation and sadness left from releasing an ex who may have been a soulmate that no longer resonates. And now in the head and the heart of the Divine Feminine is the King of Wands, who may be a shaman, or as a lot of the twins are, dying to start over at the new moon, choose the right path, needing courage to put it out there, maybe putting out a little money and energy as well, and letting go for a happy family in the aftermath of sadness, regret, loss, of letting go of what no longer serves the divine masculine, or the King of Swords reversed, his old persona. He knows he is connected to Twin through his psychic abilities, and boldly moving forward, shocking the Queen of Wands to choose the left path, destiny of the world and unconditional love, and exploring his inner feminine, ending the pain of the past by transmuting the fires and allowing growth and new passion, to say goodbye to Act 1 and begin a whole new life in Act 2, longing for what he left behind. Soon comes the Lovers on top of soulmates. And I want to get into the Lovers card too, because this was very important as well. Just like 6 in numerology is practical love, it's daily love, it's motherly love, it's real love, okay? That's the Lovers. The Lovers represents not passionate lovemaking. It represents affection and true soul connection. You add some Wands in the mix with the Lovers, yeah, it's a lot of passion. But it's really about affection. It's about physical touching and love. Soulmates, okay? So just because you have the Lovers come up doesn't mean it has to be a physical lover. It can be someone that you're affectionate with your children, and someone else you may be very close with. But it's about a close soul bond where there's a lot of affection involved as well. And so it can just be people that you give affection to who really appreciate you. And there's that strong connection. It's a soul connection. So, you know, this, when you can bring up the two of Cups, even when it's a connection, it's more of a mind or a telepathic connection, whereas the Lovers is more of that etheric body connection, okay? The Devil may have been a good thing, just allowing him to wave hello when coming together in a social situation, as the Emperor wanting to lay down his sword and apologize, knowing the two of you will always be attached, an awesome responsibility of the Capricorn to never give up, and the leadership of the Aries being all about self. The Divine Feminine is the Two of Cups, the Lovers, with insecurities and jealousy. Okay, so they're both very connected, but there's still some insecurities and jealousies there, but also soulmates of the first order. The cards that came up were past life relationship, unrequited love, and playfulness. It's about getting past the fact that you're connected. You already know that. The unrequited love, whether it be in a karmic relationship or your twin relationship, is getting past that part to playfulness. Once you've let go of an ex, or the old version of the Divine Masculine, be playful, youthful, and light. Around you is the Chariot, boldly moving or traveling to a peaceful place without uninspired inner child, or an actual difficult child, going back to their mother's house. So someone may have taken their kids back to the other parent and actually have relief because the child was being difficult. Clear blocks of drama for the Divine Feminine, or trying to prepare for sudden events or surprises, emotional detachment, working, being present and not seeing a future, and feeling left out, left behind, or out in the cold weather, literally. If you feel out in the cold, the message is just go back inside, okay? Go inside, or go inside, okay? Allow the wheel to slow if needed. It is not a bad thing. It's just switching gears. Remember, when Spirit's connecting with me, this was an important lesson. Remember learning how to ride a bike with 10 speeds. Gear 1 is usually too easy, but it sure helps when a big obstacle approaches. When you get to the top, you can then switch gears all the way to 10 to maintain control over your free fall, so you don't get out of control, and Spirit's connecting, and crash. I did need that once, trying to use the speed, going down one street to make a sharp turn, to have enough momentum to get up the next hill, another street, a huge hill that's really hard to climb. When you're not ready, you're just not ready. On the next try, you might just slow your roll a bit and be wise so that you don't fall when you make that turn. I've been seeing the bicycle chains and spokes all year as symbolic in my visual field. It's telling us that now we're ready for the 10th gear. And Spirit's connecting with me. So again, music and physical activity were very important themes about this for the Divine Feminine yesterday. To put your ass out there and be physical. Do not burden yourself. Only do what you enjoy. There's great strength in positive resonance. The masked boy with a burning flame presents it to his Divine Feminine as she falls to her knees, allowing him to light her torch. Spontaneous healing or long-held dreams come true as the worst is about to be over. The King of Wands shows his inner child to you, having not expressed his feelings and ran away unclear. He now opens his warm heart, the Bat Cave, a little bit at a time, offering the opportunity to let him have it, having the courage. So the Divine Masculine is basically offering the Divine Feminine the opportunity to let him, get him back, yell at him if you need to, as the Divine Feminine needs the courage to say what she truly feels and be authentic, as the Hermit tops it off, shedding light on it all, like a lamppost in the dark. So it's not saying to be mean to your Divine Masculine, but be authentic. And even if it might hurt or sting him a little bit, you have to say your truth. The Queen of Swords talks about family, happy family, and seeing the forest through the trees. As the moon brings to light twin ascension, a bold move to balance and integrate understanding and equitable distribution, using your psychic abilities and alone time to give affection, love suddenly and dramatically, the King of Wands shaman, his inner passionate child, and his warm heart. So allowing yourself to speak your truth, but remember that your ultimate truth is always love and kindness and compassion. So have that for your Divine Masculine as well as your authenticity, okay? And it was my mom wasn't in a great mood yesterday, which was okay. So I just end up doing cards for the aides who are taking care of her that day. And it's always a blessing for me to have the opportunity to do that because, I get so much satisfaction out of them getting so much out of it because they always do, and it's amazing. And there's some really good lessons that came out of yesterday's read. And just teaching other people what you've learned. Because often, my reads are really just about bringing up in their life what's going on that they're refusing to see. The cards help you bring up the issues that people aren't present about, but they need to be present about. And that's why it's fun for my kids to do it with me all the time. My son calls me every week to have his cards done. But it's really not about predicting future, it's about dealing with their energies now and what they need to look at. So for the Divine Masculine yesterday, which was at 5:03, it was the Wheel, Abundance, which is the Empress, Indigo, which is the Magician, the Tower, the Emperor, and Guidance, which is the Hierophant. There were 2 cups, 2 pentacles, 1 wand. The King of Cups was the only court card for the Divine Masculine yesterday, and the numbers that came up for him were 55, 88, and 221. And it was all about the truth, and the truth was coming up big time today as well. That the truth is abundance at the height of guidance, and you notice that both abundance and guidance both have dance in them. That 2 Hierophants are better than 1. Okay? So it's like 2, even if they're the old way of doing things, the establishments, it's still better to have 2 points of view than 1. Okay? To have 1 person in charge and telling everybody what to do. But definitely guidance was coming up. Speakers and receivers were coming up, okay? That you need to speak, but you also need to receive. And also 5 ways to track a predator. Abundance. Like how much, like it was saying how many coyotes are in the area. So how many predators are actually in your area. 5 ways to track that. Also 5 steps to abundance. And that was from the Center of Creative Consciousness. Also an article about involvement, and it was about stomach issues. Involvement in getting microbiota in the association between GI motility and 5-HT expression / M2, microphage abundance in the GI tract. So GI issues are coming up here. So if that means something to someone who's working on that kind of stuff, let me know. So for the Divine Masculine yesterday, hard work that's breaking up and healing for the King of Cups with his mind on Hermit, alone, without the light. So it's like the Divine Masculine still working hard, going through a breakup or disconnecting from some kind of contractual thing, or just not seeing eye to eye with someone, but healing from this, with his mind on being alone without the light, or on someone else who's alone without the light, or the way he perceives it. Non-traditional healing methods are also coming up, but as a struggle for the King of Cups when alone in the dark. When he doesn't see the light, he sees alternative ways, like incorporating them into his practice, if that's what he's trying to do. He's struggling with that right now. Refusing to see the truth, yet aligning with the truth at the crescent moon, the King of Wands, without drive, is like gangrene of the penis. This is what I was getting. Being patient, a patient angel, King of Cups, one step at a time. So obviously it's very painful if you like that visual. By not seeing the truth, he gives up all he loves, his dreams, clinging to holding back passions in order for a family legacy to happen. Also, religious factors were coming up as an underlying energy. So it doesn't have to be religion, but some kind of difference between the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. Checking in from the 5D while sleeping with a partner at home, the Divine Masculine, exposes the oven scene by the fire where he comes home to her drama. Physical activity was coming up as underlying energy as well for the Divine Masculine. Being over the moon, celebrating with streamers and sparklers, another world without opportunity or incomplete or with an ungrounded child. So it could be like parties and sleepovers were coming up for children. So it could just be Divine Masculines dealing with that kind of stuff. So he might really, and part of it might be really fun for the Divine Masculine, seeing his kids happy, maybe if they've been going through a struggle in a breakup or something like that, seeing them happy again, so the Divine Masculine may be over the moon about that, but also then, having a tough time dealing with all the kids, okay? So the King of Cups, suddenly alone or suddenly without opportunity, or kids dancing all over the place, okay? Or him missing his children when they go back to the other parent. Wanting family guidance in regards to religious factors. Recently exposed as the Hangman in limbo without status or money, or could be being greedy as well, or ungrounded. So the foundation for the Divine Masculine yesterday, this was at 5 o'clock, so it's really last night. News or message of loss or small conversation makes him sad. There's an Empress reversed without options, but to speak about sadness of an indigo child or an inner child of the King of Cups angel. Okay? So the Empress reverse could be, it depends on your situation, it could be the Divine Masculine's mother, it could be his mother-in-law, talking about his partner, it could be his partner, the Empress reverse, and it could be the Divine Feminine as well. Okay? So it's coming up those Empress reversed energy, which is all about being in lack mentality, or someone who may have had a miscarriage. But news or message of loss or a small conversation is making him sad, and this is regarding an Empress reversed without options right now, but to speak about their sadness about an indigo child, so someone may have had a miscarriage, or their indigo inner child, or maybe a partner needs to talk about their abusive childhood or something they experienced when they were young in their past, but of the King of Cups angel. Or so the Divine Masculine may be annoying the masculine, talking about her baby, okay? So centrally, and that could be at a birthday party, right? Because the grandmother would be there as well. Centrally over the stress of connecting to another world, destiny, or prison. The challenge for the Divine Masculine yesterday was the Empress saving to move, or holding on loosely, moving home patiently. So it sounds like there's a mother or a partner who's moving out. Could be a grandmother as well. A Page of Cups is suddenly stressed out. This is a child. It doesn't mean that it's negative. It could just be them stressed out about something suddenly. A prisoner of work. So someone's kid may be stressed out about work, but they're very loving and normally very kind. There's also a Knight of Pentacles needing the courage to feel uncomfortable, allow their uncomfortable emotions until the new moon, and then move forward patiently after the conflict, needing to learn or possibly get a loan or just some kind of job opportunity. The Page or an invitation. The Page of Cups is free suddenly from a marriage, and the King of Pentacles is involved here. Okay, so it could be a kid leaving home. Okay, it could also be someone who feels that they were loving, but they're immature because they're Page of Cups, leaving a marriage, or King of Pentacles because they're not getting their way. Or a sudden miscarriage or shotgun wedding of a child, or a leap of faith out of a marriage or religion into a new work situation, or a sudden message of love, stressing out the King of Pentacles, whose contract is now over. Maybe a secret contract with the Emperor, or the King of Pentacles and Emperor have been using a psychic or intuitive abilities, or blocking the divine or the divine feminine from the divine masculine. So the King of Pentacles and Emperor could be outside the divine masculine as well, blocking them from their divine feminine. Or maybe getting psychic information to use to block the divine feminine from the divine masculine. So the divine masculine coming in the soon position was coming up with the arrows of love and passion in connection to magic and manifesting goodwill to all men. Breaking chains of dissatisfaction, manifesting a love-work partnership of the Empress and the Emperor. So this could be him and a partner, but it could also be his parents. He is feeling loss or regret. The Queen of Wands is not expressing their feelings, and he wants the truth from her. The cards that came up for him are passion and let friends help. Around the divine masculine, lower chakras were coming up for the Queen of Cups reversed. Holding back money and energy to manipulate him. Possible drinking issues. That the divine masculine needs to clear blocks of an emperor at war, needing victory at all costs of peace. So that could be him or somebody who's controlling him. Also, timeout. Timeout was really important. Patience, spiritual career, and rebirth. Really, spiritual career and rebirth were really important for the divine masculine last night. Hung up on a hostage, but wounded, in need of attention. Romance is slow between the Empress and the King of Swords. The Empress and the King of Swords is marriage. The Knight of Pentacles is celebrating recovery of an Empress. So again, the Empress may have had a miscarriage or just may have had some kind of illness that she's recovering from. Or maybe just depressed. Okay? Saving money, but no affection, fighting for his freedom, and working for the man. So he may feel trapped because he has to help people get through some kind of illness or event that happened in his family before he can do anything for himself, because he's still feeling tied to serving his family. Saving money but no affection, fighting for his freedom, working for the man. The King of Cups, indigo or magician, is sad and imbalanced, suddenly destined to be abundant or with Empress, expressing passion as the Emperor, extending a false hand at work, and marriage to get ahead. Okay, so there may have been some kind of offer from parents or in-laws or his boss at work. Okay, and he may be tempted to go back into another contract with karmic ties. Okay, but he doesn't. It's not really something he wants to do. He wants to go out on his own and do what he wants to do that they've been holding him back from. But they may be trying to tempt him with another offer. He may have just finished a contract with family or business, and they're trying to get him back into another contract. So, and the divine masculine may be, freaking out about some stuff, overreacting a little bit. All right, so for today, Monday, in the Hierophant and Ace of Wands energy, so 5 is the Hierophant and 27 they adds up to is the Ace of Wands. It's that 9 of compassion with the 7 of spirituality on the inside, the feminine energy on the outside, being a good mediator, and then the Hierophant, which is all about tradition and contracts and commitment. Okay? So it's about a new passionate beginning in a commitment. So as soon as I started the read this morning, I was getting the Divine Masculine being very loving and offering love, but having a monkey on his back. But it was like the Hangman awake. He's carrying around the Hangman awake on his back, being the Knight of Cups, offering love. So whether it be as Divine Feminine or as Karmic, either way, he has a monkey on his back. Because his awakened self is with him now, always. So he has the Divine Masculine had major arcana of the Star, Emperor, Luna, the Moon, and Karma, which is the Judgment in the Syrian Starseed deck. There were 2 cups, 2 swords, 3 wands, and the Page of Wands was the only court card that came up here. The only numbers that came up for the Divine Masculine today were, I'm sorry, this is not the Divine Masculine read, this is Divine Feminine read. Again, Divine Feminine read today. Star, Emperor, so the Emperor's there, Luna, the Moon, and Karma, the Judgment card. 2 cups, 2 swords, 3 wands. Page of Wands is the only court card for the Divine Feminine. And the only numbers that came up in the coding were 6, 10, 1, and 17. And the Star came up. And the Truth. The Ace of Orbs, which is the Truth. So the message for the Divine Feminine was really all about love. Love often sees the key, the star, shining your light, in truth. Okay? So remember that your truth, if you're in your place of love, is always being the star. You're always the light. I was also getting 6 out of 10 may seek the Divine Feminine or see the key of the star truth. Right? That is not trying to get attention, but just shining your light. Because someone may see you as that way. Okay? And also just the love of your destiny. Seeking the Divine Feminine or seeing the key of the star in order to ace your thoughts. Alright? To keep yourself in balance of love. So it's all about love and the star and truth. Very, very positive, strong energies for the Divine Feminine. And the Page of Wands, which is that pure inspiration. Also has to do with a message of a date or some kind of passion. Okay? The only things I got online that I'll bring up is an entry that was what are truth seeker orbs. That was from comicvice.gamespot.com or Comic Vine, sorry about that. And just the quote, when an individual manifests 6 paths or love paths, black orbs comprising the power of all 5 elements and yin yang appear. Okay? So black orbs were coming up here in regarding to following your love path. And all 5 elements and yin yang appear. So when you're balanced in the right spot, then everything falls into line. Okay? And the other entry that came up was floating black orbs. So black orbs were significant, and I saw black orbs in the sand art today. So something about black orbs. It can just be black holes. Because when I see third eye, to me it's a black hole. It literally looks like, if you look closely in your third eye, it's just like the camera shutter. You're going to see, for me anyway, the way I see it, it's like an eye, like a green eye. So there's a black hole in the middle. And I don't always see the tributaries, but I have been able to see the tributaries. If you look closely going through the portal, there are tributaries around the green in the eye, just like a camera shutter would be. Okay? And that is a wormhole. And worms were coming up today too. Okay? So black holes and worms, wormhole. So for the read for the Divine Feminine today, King of Pentacles feeling stuck with a Queen of Wands reversed in the aftermath of pain, an ending, a betrayal, or just back pain, as 6 rays, and 6 is coming up again here, shine down upon you as the Knight of Wands, who's the King of Pentacles, makes an appearance. After bleeding out and or visiting a graveyard, the Knight of Cups offers love to the Queen of Swords. There's a secret carriage ride is also coming up through swamplands or to rocky steps. All right, I was literally getting, it can be rocky steps obviously in a creek or something, but I was literally getting rocky at the top of the art museum steps, okay? So I'm going to read this again. The Knight of Wands is the main underlying energy. Or no, I'm sorry, the Nine of Cups is the main underlying energy, okay, which is getting your wish, okay, it's being fully satisfied. And you have the Knight of Wands making an appearance around this, okay. After bleeding out and or visiting a graveyard, so it could have been just for Halloween, but somebody could also be visiting someone's grave, a Knight of Cups offers love to a Queen of Wands. So someone may have passed that a Knight of Cups is offering love to this person at a graveyard. But it also could just be going to a graveyard and also offering love to a Queen of Swords. There's a secret carriage ride through the swamplands. So this sounds also like a Halloween, thing too. Like a carriage ride through a graveyard. But I was seeing not like the hayride carriage, but a beautiful carriage. So some kind of secret carriage ride through swamplands or to the rocky steps as the lobster cheers in glory at the top of the steps at the art museum. So that energy was definitely coming, like expressing his feelings of love and passion and getting his wish, using his intuition and abilities to stay at 0 point and perform for a live audience, knowing that if the lobster stays present, remember the lobster is at the beginning of a very long hilly path, he's realizing that if the lobster stays present, the dogs will go away. Just like Dorothy, he never had to look past his own backyard to express love. Spirit's connecting, to be satisfied on his own. That we're all just pawns or chess pieces in a puppet show where the lobster triumphs and mates for life, just by expressing authentic feelings. Getting success and attention and being the leader can be overwhelming emotionally and needs healing and forgiving through sharing emotions and passions about overindulgences or underindulgences, like antisocial behavior. Drinking, gossiping, third-party situations, it's all just filling empty voids or emotions with lies. It is important to express in a creative or physical way to release your emotions without taking anything out on others or yourself. Creative expression, playful expression, divine sexual expression. These are the paths that you're being called to use to release aggressions or frustrations. And healing and forgiving yourself when you trip up, okay? Yeah. So it was a very big deal because it was coming up like the divine masculine all of a sudden realizing he doesn't have this long road ahead of him. It's how he perceives things that counts and staying present. So, and that could be for the divine feminine as well, okay? Not having to get past the dogs to get down that long path. All you have to do is be present. And this comes up again in the read about being present in your timeline. So very soon is the energy here for the divine feminine. After possibly visiting a narcissistic parent and trying to offer love, offering food or drink that they don't want or appreciate, pretending that all is well in order to find peace. And then I was getting down by the riverside, so I don't know if there's something down by the riverside that's important to some of you, but also getting just being out in nature in the woods. The truth put aside to make things look pretty, tiptoeing around the issue of the woods, and the Garden of Eden then came up, okay? So whether someone had some past incident in the woods or just doing a lot of hiking now to clear themselves, It was all coming up as relating to the Garden of Eden. The Divine Masculine knows, in order to be with the Divine Feminine, it is natural and peaceful, and that she holds the keys to his knowing. But he's avoiding facing her, having held her and then let her go, like in the Garden of Eden. And then I was getting spirits connecting with me that apples are good for you. A is for abundance, right? So it's like spirits being silly and going back to treating you like a child. But all of this for the Divine Masculine is going back to playing out the Garden of Eden. So, you know, Jesus and Mary at the crucifixion, and now we're playing out Adam and Eve at the Garden of Eden. Then I was getting what goes up must come down, spinning wheels got to go round, talk about your troubles as a crying sin, ride a painted pony, and let the spinning wheel spin. So it's teaching the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine to just let go and enjoy the ride. What goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. Okay? You have no control to just take a ride. Have fun. Needing to research or possibly needing an opportunity or an invitation. Feeling it is unfair as you see seagulls fly free above the ships as you show someone possibly a corset that you've made to inspire their path. While feeling victimized by the Queen of Swords reversed, maybe a mother who's in a bad mood. Or it could be a mother, you know, just in another way, or your own negative self-talk. Use this negative energy to fuel yourself to fly, to see your ship coming in, and the white birds flying across. And I wanted to bring this, the white birds flying across. The video is a foretelling. I was watching Elizabeth in House of Items the other day. I forget which video it was, but while she's talking, a white bird flew into the picture and out again. And I noticed that, and that was very significant. It was a foretelling. A mother and child issues are coming up to release. Injustice of the opportunities given or not given, one sibling over the other. Forgiving siblings that ganged up on you and made you cry so that they could laugh and get attention from others. Express yourself. All right, that was coming up. Recently, in a delicate balance of 0 point, able to identify the sore spots to clear, or your triggers, and sinks that cause conflict when you're not using your intuition, or revealing secrets suddenly, people may go into their victimization template, which is an overindulgence. Now you may feel the victim of getting attention, causing the wounded warrior to become inspired by their twin or children or a positive past, to rise above and become more grounded and stable as the Queen of Pentacles. So for the Divine Feminine, as soon as she goes into any kind of victim mentality, to rise above it by connecting with the positivity of her children or the positive past, or by the positivity of the twin, how the twin inspired you. When did your twin inspire you? And I know that's true for all of you. Go to the positivity of everything. Centrally is impatience and holding back money and energy exchange to release pain and stress and stabilize home and or union for both the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, inspired by the flame to share experiences with others by going within and taking time with yourself and accepting loving offers from friends, like the Emperor. So there may be a challenge here for the Divine Feminine, sharing when uninspired at work, or feeling frustrated and feeling creatively blocked at work. The challenge is shining your light and always being in control when creatively blocked. And that's when you just need to stop trying to control and allow the healing, take the time in nature or going within, not controlling, but allowing all that is. The Emperor may offer a loving message or friendship to come together, to share inspiration with others. In the head and heart of the Divine Feminine is the Emperor soulmate angel with the third energy. Depressed, trying to find peace, but blocked by the Queen of Swords reversed, so this is this Emperor, suffering in silence, this Queen of Swords reversed, suffering in silence, and then using intuition to create a new life without caring what others think. So the Divine Masculine seeing the Divine Feminine do this, and it's just saying wow to himself, like, you know, like, I want to be able to do that. He may be depressed when his kids go back to a nasty mother, or just the mother who's giving him a hard time, or just by his own inner feminine negative self-talk. He's depressed because he's allowing others to take his power away by caring more about what they feel than what he feels. He just needs to connect to his higher self by hiking or meditating, or just loving himself first. He may think the Empress is his block, purposely lighting a flame or causing conflict in his relationship. In the light of day, his partnership had disconnection issues before the divine masculine and divine feminine even met. And he knows this. Soon is the moon. Over loss of completion, getting clear on a decision about a commitment or marriage or God during the nighttime. Coming full circle or full cycle. The divine feminine is karma free, as the King of Wands is saving but feeling it's not enough to choose a new path yet. He feels the divine feminine will judge him. The energies that come up for the divine feminine have to do with having heart-to-heart conversations, healing family issues, and trust, which is just all about having faith and being patient. Around the divine feminine is happy family. Keeping quiet, though, awakened to the hurt that he's caused others. So I'm actually getting this could be divine feminine or divine masculine. So whoever's around the divine feminine, or it could be the way people see the divine feminine, is happy family, keeping quiet though awakened. So divine masculine, even if he's awakened, he's still keeping quiet about it because of the hurt that he's caused others. The Knight of Cups offers love with a monkey on his back. The family template of narcissistic abuse. Clear blocks of rising above the ashes or of the fires, of bad luck or things slowing down or lack of affection, indecision, or being passionate or clingy to negativity in any way. Just connect and rise. The energies come up for the divine feminine are all about moderation and spiritual partnership. So when you come into union, just remember moderation is key, okay? And that it is a spiritually based partnership. With the King of Pentacles, so note that the King of Pentacles does want your sexual energy and your thought forms. The truth is the present. The divine masculine and divine feminine are in union. They just need to turn around and look at the truth, that they're sitting right next to each other. And dolphin wisdom is coming up here, and Spirit's connecting with me. All right. Brain wars leads to air sex. No brain wars leads to physical sex. Okay. So it's about your own mental war. When you're able to let go of the war in your head, your union will come into the physical. It takes two sticks in one to light a twin flame fire. Union at night, manipulated by energy stealing. If taking a risk, don't be manipulative. Continuing to carry a load creates a disconnect in the sham fan. So even if the masculine's still trucking along with 10 wands on his back, it's going to eventually create a disconnect in the sham fan because nobody can survive that, okay? He's going to have to drop one day. The Empress reversed is a big block at work. No matter how much you create, you must always speak your truth about your dark mother experiences. So I invite you guys now, too, to comment below on some of your dark mother experiences between you and your mother. It's not about telling on your bad mother. It's about expressing your truth. Okay? Is your divine masculine? Remember that secrets are blocks and wounds. You know, the more we allow the things that we don't think other people want to know about us, the more we allow that our truth to come out, the freer you are. Is your divine masculine with someone just like your mother, and vice versa, because he's like your father? Father and son issues are here as well. Father extending a false hand to the son. Parents of angels blocking them in their work. The divine masculine's father directly, and the divine feminine's mother indirectly. Kids and siblings are a mixed bag today, where one may be helpful and sincere and the other is draining you. So be aware of this. Just because they're kids doesn't mean you need to spend a lot of time with them if they're draining you. And I wanted to bring up like the different court cards and how many were coming up as positive and negative here, because in the clarification cards, and this is just the mini deck that I'm talking about. So for the kings, the only kings that came up in the clarifications were the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands, and they were both upright. So there's very positive, masculine, strong energy here. For the queens, the only queen that was coming up upright in the read was the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, and Queen of Cups were all there, but they were all reversed. So if you're dealing with motherly energy today, make it be the Queen of Pentacles energy and not the others. The other ones are negative today. For the Knights, the Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords, and Knight of Wands are all coming up positive. So action orientation is great today. Knight of Pentacles is the negative today. So the Slowpoke, that's not the energy for today. It's all about loving movement, passionate movement, and messenger of truth, speaking your truth to get going, to get moving. For pages, the only page that came up positive was the Page of Cups, and the only one that came up negative was the Page of Wands. So Page of Cups, you know, the loving children, the loving energy, your loving inner child, that's what you need to focus on today, and let go of the immature, passionate energy that's not, it hasn't matured quite yet enough for you to deal with it. I was seeing peach pits, fire pits, and olives also coming up. I'm getting satisfaction or a wish of attention through judgment of family. So be careful about getting it, you know, getting negative attention. So just like when you and your siblings were little, sometimes siblings wanted any kind of attention, even if it was negative attention from their parents, or being abusive to their siblings to get positive attention from the other kids and laughing. So be aware of this. So be aware of getting satisfaction or a wish of attention, but through judgment of family. Balancing new seeds of inspiration with light at night to transmute the fires of the Emperor's truth and risky business. Okay, so if Emperor's dealing with, so whether it's a father or the Divine Masculine, some of them may be dealing with illegal or just risky business, and the Divine Feminine may want to help transmute some of those energies. Okay, so let's get to the, we're over an hour. It's 102.01 and then 102.02, 102.03. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Let it be. Okay, so for the Ascension deck, take a deep breath, everyone. Clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. And let's clear, just a quick clearing, let's clear all negative energies. And let's clear all obstacles to harmonious, permanent physical union with all organic true twins and their beloveds across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all these concerned. And so it is. Okay. Clear and align. What is the advice for everyone watching? What is the advice? Okay, came right out. The bottom is Orion. It's 18, the moon. And the moon's been coming up a lot lately, but not like a full moon energy. It's coming up as the night time. I'm getting the moon constantly, but reflecting at night, the work being done at night. So obviously, you know, Orion, all the constellation and our connections with the constellations are a lot of work is being done at night. It's the 18-9, which is the moon. It's of endings and selflessness, universal love and compassion. The great masters of Orion invite you to visit Orion in meditation or sleep to receive a download of cosmic wisdom. Okay? So this is an honor, so prepare yourself with intention during the day by showering, lighting a candle, playing sacred music, or walking in nature, and then you will receive much spiritual light. Orion is the soul star chakra of the universe. You may find it helpful to ask Archangel Mariel to light up your personal soul star chakra, which is above your head, to facilitate your connection. And the affirmation is, I honor the masters of Orion and visit them in my sleep. That's the underlying energy. I wanted to bring that up because I kept getting the moon constantly about nighttime. So it's asking you to connect with some of your galactic connections, okay? And then we have Gold and Silver Cloak is the card that came out. It's number 26, which is an 8, right? 8 is all about inner and outer power and strength. It's about manifesting and staying at 0 point and balancing, okay? But it's also about big sports and big business, and we're talking about risky business here, so that's important. It's the 6 of the loving mother on the inside and the 2 of the feminine energy on the outside, balancing things to come out as this strong energy. You've chosen the card of perfect harmony. And remember that 8 is also the storm. The 7 is the quiet before the storm. 8 is the storm. You know, it's the big game, right? You've chosen the card of perfect harmony. When you balance your wisdom and power, giving and receiving, your connection with hollow earth and seventh heaven, it offers you the courage to love. Spirit's connecting. This makes you magnetic to people, animals, and situations so that you can attract all that is, which came up in the read, for your highest good. Your guidance is to bring yourself into harmony and balance, then visualize yourself wearing the gold and silver cloak so that you can draw in angel sonics to purify the energy around you. Expect the unexpected and miraculous, which also brings up dolphin sounds, okay? Because that's much about the angel sonics and the sounds of the planets, okay? Dolphin sounds and whale sounds. Expect the unexpected and miraculous, and the affirmation is, I am in total balance and harmony. Okay, the gold and silver cloak. For the past life deck, okay, take another deep breath. Clear and align. Clear and align. Let's clear everyone's energy. Clear and align. Clear everyone's energy. Clear and align. Okay, what is the advice for everyone watching today? What is the advice for everyone watching? Okay. The underlying energy is imprisonment or slavery. Okay, get out of jail free. That's what I was just getting. And then the wars and battles is the card that came up. Okay, your battle wounds. Okay. What do we have? A Confederate flag? And if I'm wrong, don't. I'm terrible when it comes to political things and history. So we have I was just getting Andy Griffith and Gomer Pyle. So funny. You wouldn't think I would get that from this, but I was. I was getting like what's his name at the jail? The sheriff. I was getting him at the jailhouse. You know, just the local jail. So I wasn't getting like, you know, big prison. I was getting like the local jail. And I'm getting that really the reason that imprisonment is coming up is just because you're imprisoning yourself because of past battles and wars that you've experienced. And this may be, you know, just within your own. It's showing me within the United States, right? Civil War. Because it's about the one that's closest to home. You know, the war within your own mind, the war within your own family, the war with your children, your partner. Okay? It's not about going to prison. It's about putting yourself in prison. All right? To let go of the negativity and release yourself and stop thinking. Stop punishing yourself for things you've done and for what other people have done. This is what the portal energy, and now I'm getting the portal. It's like, see these energies as your cords that you've cut, and see them going through the portal. See all these cords literally fly through the portal or the wormhole. Because they're all of the past and they no longer apply to you. Okay, and it's all negative energy. It's always worry, and so many of the twins are people who worry because they want to have control before something happens. So instead of that, and that causes your heart to shut down, it's knowing that you have the ability to face any situation in the moment. So when you can always leave your heart open and expansive, because you don't need protection, because you are confident that in any system that approaches you, that you will know what your boundaries are. You will know to keep your heart open, and if someone tries to trigger you or is mean to you in any way, you simply excuse yourself from the situation. You do not have to deal with that energy. But also, you know, take a look at yourself when that energy enters your field. Is it something that you need to bring up? Is someone bringing to you what is in your unconscious or subconscious that needs to come up? Okay, so always examine yourself, but don't punish yourself. Okay. It's always about forgiveness of self and others. Okay, don't torture yourself or punish yourself or put yourself in a prison. Okay, now we have Journey of Love. Take another deep breath. Clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. Okay. So what is the energy for everyone watching? What is the message for the viewers today, this November 5th, 2018? What is the message? What is the message? Okay. The underlying energy is 63, the light field. Okay. That's the underlying energy. And, let's see. 7, 8, 9. 63 is the 9 of swords, you know, so that's suffering. And suffering in silence has been coming up a lot in the past couple days. So it's about leaving that behind. That's the underlying energy. It's going away. Stop suffering in silence. And here we have the 1 of heart fire. It's more orangey on the screen, but it's really red. Let's see if I can get it in better. Okay, you have yellow in the middle there. So it's like the rose, but the yellow in the middle is like the Christ light expanding from the heart of the rose, heart fire, with a little bit of shadow around the edges. Okay, but it's 1, it's the magician, and we're going to read that for you. It's very red in root chakra, but 1 is also all about new beginnings. Heart fire. Passion is igniting within you. It is not a time when things will remain still, even if the change is only sensed with a subtle stirring underneath the surface of things. Even if slow at first, passion will unfold, and that slowed wheel came up, you know, just like the chains of the bicycle and switching gears. Even if slow at first, passion will unfold from within your heart, soon to be burning bright like the sun, unrestrained. You are learning how to ride waves of passion, through eruptions of heat and descent into coolness, bearing the absence of fire, only to realize it's returning to you again. Ride its waves, knowing that passionate bliss will always return to a heart that is on fire with love for life. The coolness allows us to experience the heat. Once you realize that the fire emerging from within you will ebb and flow, you will trust in its presence. You will realize that whether your passionate fire is obvious and drawing you into life, or dwelling quietly within, gaining power from the deepest sources of your being, soon to rise once more, it is a constant in your heart. Accept the fire of your heart and know that it is how you are meant to be, on fire with love, with all that is. And 55 just came up, the truth. We had 1, 12, 55, which is all about the magician, wisdom, and the truth. This oracle brings you a message for you. Trust the passion and the fire of your heart to guide your decisions now. What would make you feel most alive? Choose that. If you're feeling a lack of genuine passion in your life, take comfort that it is awakening in your own heart now, bringing something that has been long in rest back to life. And the poem reads, life unfolds in wondrous ways, and time together fills the days, with unexpected gifts beyond our wildest dreams, like open hearts as feelings start to face the longing when we part. Our souls know this is more than what it seems. In gratitude and spirit connecting, I offer prayer with thanks for this love so rare, asking guidance on this sweet sojourn. The answers come in tears that flow, emotions raw and smiles that show. Becoming one is worth the wait until I can return. Okay? And it's like I'm just getting the message of the masculine returning from war. Okay? The master magician found a way to return from war. Okay, and then we just get that battles and war and prison and having to do with letting go of the Garden of Eden and Jesus on the cross, all the wars and battles, to become the magician, the true heart fire, and transmute all the negative energies and find his way back home. Okay? Look it up. Really beautiful messages, okay? So make sure to drink your water. And 55 just came up again. It was 114, 55, and 14 is temperance. So it's all about moderation for the Divine Feminine today. So moderation and wisdom and truth. Okay? Rise and be loved, guys. Love you. Bye.